Chef, you just mentioned that you saved money to buy a book.
For a chef, we have a book called, because it's like an encyclopedia of all the culinary. How I came into being a chef? Yes, it was like by accident. I wanted to get into defense.
What all you did of your diploma in hotel management?
Oh, that was very, very beautiful journey, I must say. It's a memorable and then... So we were practicing Rumali Roti while doing it.
You used to swing them in the air and all?
I practiced it even with my banyan and...
Why we have so many knives for, different knives, small, big, very big, and different shapes? Why?
We are fancy people. A lady has all the makeup kit, chefs have the knife kit.
Yes. So what other skills?
One thing is you need to perfect an art. You don't have to be a master of one thing. You can be jack of all.
What kind of challenges you have faced to be here where you are today?
Joined the management training program of ITC.
Hey guys, I'm Dinesh Kumar Jhajuria, founder and CEO of Hospitality Navigator. This podcast is brought to you by Hospitality Navigator in association with Social Digital Media. Guys, do you know that we are into a fun-filled space, and that space is known as food industry, where we get all tasty food. But do you know who bring this tasty food to our plate? These are very hardworking chefs. They are the one who take the entire toll to bring that lovely food from the kitchen to our plate. As I promised, in each podcast, I will be introducing to those chefs who has really proven their iron in this industry. So today we have chef who is an accomplished chef and hospitality educator with over 34 years of international experience in fine dining, culinary innovation, and hospitality management. Demonstrated excellence in multi-cuisine expertise, restaurant entrepreneurship, and academic leadership. Recipient of prestigious culinary awards, including a Michelin star, Michelin Bib Gourmand, and AA Rosette. Passionate about training the next generation of hospitality professionals through industry integrated education. Here I welcome the chef. I will not going to tell his name. I will keep you guessing. So welcome, chef. Let me start. Tell us about how were your growing up years.
Thank you, Dinesh, for inviting me for this podcast.
Welcome, chef.
It's a pleasure to come here and tell my story. Okay, so obviously story means I have to tell you exactly how my journey started.
Yes.
I have to go back to my childhood days because that's where my inspiration has come. My mom has always been my inspiration in terms of cooking.
Wonderful.
She's the one who used to put all of us together to do our cooking on Sundays. So Sunday is one day where my dad, me, my sister, all of us used to help her in preparing the lunch.
A potluck within the family.
हाँ बिल्कुल वो ऐसा होता था कि we all used to grind the masalas or use the old technique of that stone grinder silbatta.
Yes.
So that really motivated me to get in because food I was healthy from childhood. तो खाना तो मेरा central core है. So that's where my inspiration is first started. My journey, you can say one way, went in from there into other field because my whole aim was to get into defense. But luck, fate, destiny,
Yes.
जो भी बोलो, so that brought me to be a chef.
I must say it's a destiny of those people who have tasted your food.
Oh yes, I'm thankful for that. They all appreciate it. Now coming to how I came into being a chef, yes, it was like by accident. I wanted to get into defense. So I was preparing for CDS while I was doing my graduation in Chandigarh. And a couple of there was a big gang who were preparing for CDS. And at that time, a couple of friends got the IHM application,
Oh, great.
the Hotel Management Entrance Test. And they said that it's very similar to what we will be going through in the CDS. So there will be aptitude tests and logic and all that. So बैठ गए, experience लेने. Interestingly clear, we forgot about it. A result came and then we were selected.
Wow.
So Delhi, I was in Chandigarh at the time. So Delhi where they called us for the final interview. So चलते चलते पहुंच गए Delhi and 4 of us went. and we four got selected, and they gave me Hyderabad as the IHM Hyderabad. So that's one thing which really motivated was by one of my super seniors of Hyderabad IHM was my aunt's neighbor's son. So he came over when I went for a holiday to Hyderabad. So वो आके अच्छा पट्टी पढ़ा दिया हैदराबाद का IHM के बारे में.
So this was the you have taken admission in this
Yes.
diploma in hotel management.
Yes, very much.
So tell us, chef, what all you did during these 3 years of your diploma in hotel management.
Oh, that was very, very beautiful journey, I must say. It's a memorable and then changed my life, you can one way. So पहले जब हम पहुँचे तो we had a big group and seniors were around. So introduction काफ़ी चला seniors to juniors का. So that's the time when practicals भी तभी start हो रहा था. So one of the practical time we made croissants and muffins and all that, and I was carrying it from bakery into the dining hall. So there was the seniors, a big gang was sitting there. So bula ke, they wanted to check how our bread rolls and croissants were. So we had a senior called Chef Sudhakar. So he looked at it and said, "Yaar, काफ़ी अच्छा बना, so you will be a chef if you aim to." So that got into my mind. I said, okay.
So that was one point,
big point.
There is spark you felt.
He inspired me, you can call it,
Wonderful.
because we were his chela as well. We were in the first year. Yeah. And motivation, yes, very much it was there in Hyderabad IHM. All of us, the faculties were brilliant at that time. We had stalwarts called Chef Mathur.
It's known for its culinary,
specialization.
yes.
So interestingly, first year में ही हम लोग exhibition में जो नुमाइश कहते हैं, we all were taken there, and then counter एक लगा हुआ था रुमाली रोटीज का. So we were practicing rumali roti while doing it. Every day 400 to 600 rumalis were sold.
So you used to swing them in the air and all?
I mean, इतना experts तो नहीं थे, but then we managed to create a
But
good...
it's a lovely sight.
Oh
to
yes.
see,
But because when you do it for continuously for so long, automatically practice तो हो जाता था. In fact, I practiced it even with my banyan and hanky and whatever cloth I used to find, I used to do it. So that's how
Very
I practiced.
entertaining sight to see that.
Yes.
That's really lovely.
And then again, one more inspiring thing for me was they used to take me out for outdoors, for kitchen outdoors especially. So वहाँ पे हम लोग, we learned how to do ice carvings, vegetable carvings, and the whole display.
So hands-on practice.
Coffee. Yeah. We used to make some pocket money, but more than that, it was experience what we gained.
That is really great. So go on. It was just second year, I think you have reached.
Yes,
there is final year also. I want to know a lot.
So then we went for training to Taj Coromandel. So summer training में हम लोगों को first batch तो 6 months का training था. तो there we met Chef Himanshu. So he's the one who was a junior sous chef in coffee shop at that time. So पहले दिन ही सबको खड़ा करके he started asking us how many hours you can work. तो we were somewhere in middle. So by the time turn of ours came in, वो 12 घंटे से 14 घंटे हो गया था.
It's very common.
Very common. So we need to up the scale. So I also said 16 hours. Wow. So he made sure that for one whole month we worked for 16 hours a day. So that was one good experience we had with while training in Taj. And that's a beautiful experience.
Made you robust.
Say. Oh yes. And it really helped me in the later in my life, because whatever little extra work I used to do, I never used to feel tired. In fact, in my journey, I did my own restaurants. There for 2 years continuously, I worked without a break.
Yeah, great.
Just because that Taj Coromandel training has helped me.
So that rigorous training made help you achieve.
Stay back and work long.
Anything else during this period? Any incident you would like to share?
We were living in Chennai in a hostel in Chennai's IHM's hostel, and there we were survived in the midst of all these, and because it's a big college. So in that we made a mark. We had to prove them that we are Hyderabadis, no less.
We are the best.
So वहाँ पे उनके juniors को we had a good introduction sessions with them. So we made a lot of friends there, and then had a lot of experiences because it's a big institute, and then it had a very good atmosphere there. So we learned quite a bit while staying in that. कई बार stipend was very less. पैसे भी काफ़ी कम थे, but then we used to make sure that we save some money and buy books. So our first investment bit was a couple
that's a
of our
wonderful
friends.
thing if you started very early. Buying books especially.
Buying books, yes. That is how we learned way to save money, and then मेरा costing भी अच्छा खासा चल गया.
Very good.
So
Nice. So anything else comes to your mind? As a student life.
हाँ नहीं, फाइनल ईयर तक तो काफ़ी आई वॉज एन इंट्रोवर्ट इनिशियली. मैं काफ़ी शर्मिला था. मैं आई नेवर यूज टू टॉक टू मेनी गर्ल्स ऑल्सो. आई मीन माई एल्डर सिस्टर हैड लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स एंड शी यूज टू हैव बिग पार्टीज एट होम. भाग जाता था मैं. आई नेवर यूज टू स्टे देयर इन देयर रूम. बट देन कमिंग टू दिस होटल इंडस्ट्री और कॉलेज, वहाँ पे
But I think this hotel industry helped us shedding away that shyness, right?
It really took away that introverts of mine, and then become an extrovert, and then I could easily mingle with my, I've been a motivator to my batchmates as well as my juniors as well.
That's a great transformation. So thank you, Chef. Chef, you just mentioned that you saved money to buy a book, which I feel is a wonderful thing to do. I'm curious, which book was it? Was it your first book?
Well, for a chef, we have a book called La Roche Gastronomy. And this is one thing which is like a Bible for a chef, or a Quran, or you call it Gita, because it's like an encyclopedia of all the culinary aspects of European culinary.
Great.
So that was my first purchase with my friend who was training along with me. So we both saved the money and we went there and made sure that whatever the cost was, because it's very expensive. It was a bundle of 1,500 pages. I still have that book in our library. So that shows that how much respect we gave to that book. We could purchase that. That was my first. But then I'll tell you one more interesting thing. What I purchased. It was in the final year. There was another friend of mine. He's now in Sri Lanka. So we were like roaming around because those days there was no internet. Yes. There was no Google and all that. So whatever knowledge we had to gain, it has to be through books. Yes. So Hyderabad has this one big good thing, like people sell the old books on the street. So Nampally is one where Abbots to
Nampally on Sunday
exactly
market.
Sunday market in the morning at 8 o'clock.
Yes,
you'll find all these books on the road. So we went and found one dishes were there. It's an old book. So it was in Urdu. So, but then because it were photos of all these food pictures, we assumed that it will be a cookery book. So we bought that. At that time, it was 5 rupees.
Oh.
So when we bought it, and then my friend Kishore, he has a couple of friends who have a good knowledge of Urdu. So we went and showed it to them. That book was almost 250 years old.
Wow.
Book. It has all the recipes of the Nizam era. So they had
still you have that book?
I mean, my friend has it. So that is one thing which really, felt like, we are
great.
There is so much knowledge we can carry it.
Yeah, books are always a greatest investment. It's really great. So, Chef, I'm sure that like you have started your professional journey with the bank. I'm curious to know, how did it happen?
In the final year, as I already mentioned, at Taj, I've done my training. So my focus was in getting into Taj. So campus interviews were going on, and ITC popped in to take the management training program students for that. So out of the whole lot, 2 of us initially got shortlisted for ITC, and then we went to Mumbai, first to Chennai to do a trade test. From there, my final interview was in Bangalore. So where I went in earlier, as I walked into the interview room, there were altogether 40 odd people standing at that time. And just before me, one person from Vaksha, he walked in. He spent 45 minutes inside the room. When he walked out, he was all sweaty, and then I was really scared. And one good thing what I had is I learned karate when I was in school.
Oh, great.
So there is a Japanese school called Budokai. So I mentioned it as Budokai, green belt. So I walked into the hall, and one of the HR directors also did karate in Budokai. So he happened to read it and correlate to it. And he says, okay, so you did this. So come on, do some push-ups. He asked me how many push-ups you can do. I was wearing a suit and, all geared up. It was a hotel executive room. So I started, my interview started with push-ups. 30 push-ups I done with wearing a coat and all that. So we did, there is a thing called kata, so we were kicking each other and blocking and all that. So that's the interview what I had. And I gave up. I thought maybe they were just fooling around because my main technical round was only for 10-15 minutes. The rest of it was this. When eventually I was for the entire southern region for a chef program which is called KET, Kitchen Executive Trainee. I was the only guy who got selected from all the 5 IHMs which are in South. From Mumbai to Delhi and all that, there were others. So that really boosted me. My career started with ITC hotels. I joined Delhi for the Welcome Group Management Institute. So I did 2 years of my training program. In that time, I was posted to Moria itself. We were part of the Moria team.
Beautiful hotel.
Beautiful. It was experience because I had the opportunity to work with stalwarts who were the legends of the culinary, Chef Imtiaz Qureshi and Chef Madan Lal Jaiswal. So these were the top notch. Yes. My first executive chef who was working with Moria was Chef Manjit Singh Gill. He's again a legend of his own. Yes. He's the president of IFCA, so they have motivated me a lot. Because I remember when I was put into training for Bukhara, Chef Madanlal was watching from behind and I was massaging the chicken. He says, "Kya ladki ki tarah kar raha hai? Usko daba ke marinate karo." So that way.
So at initial time only you got very good mentors.
Very good mentors, and these are the people who inspire the younger generation. And I was very lucky to work under them, and I had a opportunity to help Chef Madan Lal Jaiswal as well as Chef Imtiaz Qureshi, because we were sent to Jaipur to set up the new hotel Rajputana. So there I was
I did my training from there.
Is it? Yes. Lovely. So that's a beautiful hotel. So where they asked me to assist Chef Imtiaz Qureshi to write the standard recipes for Dum Pukht. So I had a good almost 3-4 months we worked on the standard recipes. Yes. So that's a big plus for me, because I was initially when I joined the industry, I wanted to be a bakery chef. My whole focus was into bakery in the college days and all that. So I assumed that I'll get into bakery. But then the moment I went into management training program, it was a total different ball game. They shunted us in all the areas and where you had to learn and start working. Like when we were posted to Jaipur, they put me into Dum Pukht. So I had to run it like, 2 of us were running the whole place with 1 assistant. So we were doing 12-hour shifts. It was part of a coffee shop. So 12-hour shifts means you start at 7 in the morning, finish at 7 in the evening, the next guy takes over, goes up to morning. So that's one big experience. Because it was soft launch, so we had almost 15-20 proper guests and around 150 management people. So we had a good time. And there, because it's a new kitchen, the kitchen didn't have that tandoor and all that set. So we were doing rumali rotis. So remember I told you about...
Yes, you already expert.
I was pretty good at rumali roti. So we were, almost 400 staff were having rumali roti for lunch every day. Wow. So just 3 of us were doing rumalis for everybody.
Trying to imagine
exactly.
The scenario.
Because everybody eats rotis in the north, and then what else best you can have is fresh hot rumali. So
even first time rumali I have seen in Hyderabad only.
Correct.
And
so
it was
Hyderabad
really
is very known
good
for
experience.
It. Yes, very known for that.
I think one wedding reception. I have seen that. It was fascinating.
There is a debate that where it originated, but then I must say that I'm very proudly say that yes, it started in Hyderabad. So that's one big achievement, and then I got posted in ITC at Moria itself after my completion of training. So this is very few people who get that, because it's Moria is our one of the pioneering in hotels. For ITC,
it's a beautiful, very best hotel,
very
one of the best hotel.
Because the headquarters was based there.
So far, like what I heard from you, like person who was thinking of becoming an army person, and who just by chance got into hotel industry. But I have seen that I think you have taken everything the way it has come to you.
Correct.
And you just played it well every time.
For this, I need to tell about my father. My father has traveled the world. He was in Borneo for his childhood. So when they came back to India, he joined as, he did his graduation, and then immediately the first job what he did was as an NCC instructor for a college. So there he inculcated that discipline of NCC, and he put it into our mind from our childhood. Everything what we do has to be the way army personnel has to do it. So he aspired to be an army guy, and we couldn't get in. So he put it into my mind that get in there. So that discipline was there in us.
True. And I always say that our industry is no less than army,
Yes.
Be very hard work, and more you are disciplined and you even learn the art of time management, I think you can live a very good life.
True. Because I think, the rules and regulations, what we wear, the uniform, the timings and the discipline, the hierarchy, everything has been adapted from the rules of army. So that's one thing which I always tell my next generation people, whoever, trained under me, I tell them that imbibe that.
Yes, we'll come there soon. Chef, tell us now, how did you excel in your profession?
Right. To be a good chef, one has to learn the art of how to do the chopping, cutting.
Yes.
So this is like
It
the
starts
primary.
from there.
Yes. In your beginning of the career, repeat the thing 10 times, 1,000 times, lakh times, because that is how you become an expert.
Yes.
The way Arjun closed his eyes and then तीर मारा है और आँख को देखा है मच्छी का, and his inspiration was he was eating food and suddenly the lamp died, but he was kept on eating still. He realized that in his hand and mouth coordination was perfect, even with that there's no light. So that is something a chef has to
till
imbibe.
that level you have to
Exactly. You need
practice.
to, because for a chef, the extension of the hand is all the way till the tip of the knife.
Yes.
So you need to see to it that वो practice जो इतना अच्छा हो, ताकि your knife becomes
skills
extension. So you should know where exactly. If not, you'll chop off your finger. If you don't know how to cut the onion properly, or तो ये art I've learned it from the day one.
One more thing is coming into my mind. Why we have so many knives for different knives, small, big, very big, and different shapes. Why
we are fancy people. हम लोग के लिए कुछ we need to, the way a lady has all the makeup kit, chefs have the knife kit. No, they all have a purpose. Yes. They all have certain functionality. So for a chef, knowing what to use, when to use is also an art, because carving करने के लिए we need to have a certain tool which has to take that carving in. और कहीं पे potato होगा, कहीं पे tomato होगा. So both of them has to be used on a different platform. So उसके लिए sharp knives will make a sharp, intelligent chefs.
And so, to make it more intricate.
Yes. You need to handle it well, because every knife has its own functionality, because the weight is different. The feel is different.
Can you name few knives?
Oh, there are plenty. In fact, there's the best knife, what we call a paring knife, which is like a pocket-friendly knife, which is a small knife, and it can be kept in hand, in your pocket anytime. All the chefs carry a side pocket, so a knife goes in, and it's easy to function for small cuts. When you reach a certain level, having a knife with you always is beneficial.
Very good. So I come back to my old question.
Yes.
So what other skills?
One thing is you need to perfect an art, but then I'll also say that you don't have to be a master of one thing. You can be jack of all, because that is what makes a chef better. Because once he knows the trade, you don't have to forego that thing. But yes, keep one trick up your sleeve so that you will be success, where you repeat it 1,000 times and then learn it in such a way that you are an expert in that and nobody can beat you for that.
Now what is for you?
There were instances where
one I know rumali roti, right?
नहीं carving भी अच्छा कर लेता था, and then more than that I used to I'm a left-hander, right? So for me, using the knife to cut was one good thing. I was practicing it well. एक बार हुआ कि I cut my finger. I've put it in a wrong place. That dry grinder was there, so I put my finger. It chopped off the top. It started. So they had to put a rod and then stitch it up. So for 3 months, I was not holding the knife properly.
My God.
But initially everybody thought that, whoever used to come to me say that, Are, you're lucky it's a left hand. Whatever happened, your right hand is there. But then I'm a lefty. So for me, using the left hand was more essential. So I've mastered it. I've adjusted because, I cannot bend it more than that.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Badly
a little disadvantage initially. But then I've forced myself to use it in a certain way that now I can comfortably master that.
So what is next after knife skills and all?
Knife
What
skills
else? What other skills are required
You have
to
to
reach
get it.
there where you are? That is my That's why I'm more curious.
Nahin, as I said, you need to get inspired. This profession is all about inspiration, passion, and dedication. So ये तीन रहना ही रहना. If not, it's a very tough profession to choose. You'll be working with knives. You'll be working with heat. कई सारे burns and cuts होगा.
Yes.
But more than that, if you have that passion, it'll go in. Because कई बार the expertise comes only after repeating things, and that needs a lot of patience. Because you can't just become an expert overnight peeling carrot and then slicing it.
Yes.
So those are the things.
Like a lot of things come into picture.
Correct.
Handling different equipments and
But I mean, I learned it from these chefs that, one thing we need to believe is cooking is it's an art and science and physics, chemistry, math and all
everything
combined.
combined, yes.
उसके साथ साथ you need to have a little trick in terms of creating, because it's the tongue. कई बार the way we look at it, the God has created our body in such a way that brain लगाया पहले ऊपर, फिर eyes, then the nose and the mouth. And for a chef, these are the four essential things.
Yes.
You need to first visualize, concept पूरा set करो क्या होना है. Final dish has to be पहले thought here, because once you do something and if it doesn't turn out, you need to be able to modify it.
And same way it should be transmitted to customers.
And the second is
right?
eye looks at the food.
Yes.
We don't see the food without how it appears. अगर मैं आपको बताऊं कि imagine a very hot dosa with the butter and top and all that, so your visualization already working.
Yes. Yeah, I got it already. The saliva in my mouth. Yes.
Then the third is the smell.
Yes.
You need to have a very good aroma to go with. Last में taste आता है. So if taste is little here and there, if you cover these four,
right.
you are the winner.
Wonderful. And you have learned all these plate presentations and all that.
That is a must, because
decoration.
Anything you work with food, it has to be appealing. It has to be beautiful to look at. Because as I said, first is eyes takes up the whole concept of a customer looks at the food and 50% उसका पेट भर जाता है देख के. So for me, that concept of plating food, because that's where I innovated in my journey as a profession. But right now, what I'm looking at is somebody who wants to make a plate beautiful. उसका अपने आप major battle won as a chef.
Okay, chef. Tell us, how was your career progression? And I'm very much interested to know what kind of challenges you have faced to be here where you are today.
As I mentioned, I joined the management training program of ITC. So first, my stepping was in Delhi, and there we had a whole lot of North Indian, South Indian. That concept always exists in our field. So I was the Hyderabadi guy. We had a typical Hyderabadi lingo. So I was the how nakko type. So I was a very good entertainer for them. They used to make me speak in Hindi. The Hyderabadi way. So that really broke the the barrier of the senior to junior concept. So we all gelled well. After that, I become pretty popular. So I'm a very mischievous guy. So in the college, in the management training program itself, we all pretty much known to be playing pranks on each other. So like I used to carry the pickles, the Andhra pickle, the gonguras and the the avakaya and all that. So that used to be the marination for all the barbecue meats what we used to have. So I was always stocked up with these things. So Adi Raat ko bhi people used to come and have a rice or something with it. So that way the gelling went well, and then posting, as I said, went. But then, being the management trainee, we were given so much of opportunities to excel in our own self. एक इंस्टेंट बताता हूँ कि 94 में साउथ अफ्रीका was the first time apartheid के बाद they came to India with a whole cricket team, and 194 delegates were there. So that's a time where they sent all of us to Gwalior.
Okay.
Gwalior, where Rama International was run by the ITC, which is Mother of India Ji ka palace mein.
Palace, yes.
Unfortunately, it has a only capacity to handle 50 people. And here we are talking about 194 of South African delegation plus Indian. Plus. So it was a huge event. 5-day test tha. Azharuddin was the captain those days.
Okay.
So हम लोग लकड़ लगा के चूल्हे करके and we used to manage. And then as soon as the Azharuddin got to know that a Hyderabadi chef is there, so वो सीधा आके बोला यार make me a biryani.
बिरयानी चाहिए.
So one big meal was a Hyderabadi biryani for them. So we all jammed up and then created a typical dum ki biryani. So I was the leader for that. So VVS Lakshman and Venkatpati Raju, they were the team members those days. All the three were Hyderabadis. So that gave me a very good boost, seeing that I can really work well in the team. So then the Maurya itself is something which really changed the whole perception, because 3 years I was handling coffee shop, I was taking care of the continental banquets, South Indian, so my hand was all over. So that's the time when they've decided to put me for ITC Kakatiya.
Okay.
Hyderabad, the ITC Kakatiya was just about to launch in 95, 96. So to do that, they sent me to Chennai to learn the Dakshin. Dakshin is a specialty restaurant of ITC. So I was destined to learn the South Indian aspect of it. But usi time pe यहाँ पे आते it was a whole dynamic scene, because the chef did not want to leave me.
Okay.
फिर 96 I was about to get into Mughal Sheraton.
Okay.
And that's the time when somebody has headhunted me. Agra mein.
Yes.
After some time I was headhunted to join this Chutney Mary group in London. So Chutney Mary is older. it has acquired the oldest Indian restaurant.
Okay.
So they were looking for young chefs. I was 26 years old at the time. So I happened to take over that as a head chef. So executive chef banne ke baad, I had a team who were like almost 50 years old, 60 years old, working in from various other channels. So I was leading them. So that's where my journey started in London. 3 years I worked with Veeraswamy as a executive chef for them and transformed. Got quite a few appreciation, because हम लोग Indian food को fine dine concept में ला रहे थे वहाँ पे.
That's nice.
Few restaurants were already there, but then traditionally London में you had all these curry houses.
Okay.
In that era, there were a lot of chefs were being selected from India.
Yep.
So we had popular chefs like Atul Kochhar, Cyrus Todiwala, and Vineet Bhatia and all that. These guys were stalwarts at that time. By the time we went. So we were young brigade, and then I had a team of almost 12 chefs, out of which one guy is from Jharkhand, one guy is from Chhattisgarh and stuff like that. 3 of them from Malayalam, Kerala, and from Karnataka. So we had a big group of chefs working with me. So we created the whole fine dine concept of Indian food when we went in.
Hey guys, now this is the time. Let me reveal the name of this wonderful chef who has achieved accolades and he is proud of. We will be learning from him soon. He is none other than Chef Gowtham Karingi. So Chef, now we come to the hottest part of this episode. You have to tell us about your achievements. I have already mentioned in your introduction. We would like to know about which one was the dearest to you. We can start from there.
When I first went into London, I realized that, how chefs are given so much of importance, especially the critics, they rave about you or they can break you. So if you're really good, you're the poster boy. Because I remember when with Veeraswamy, first time A. Rosette has awarded as the best chef. Times magazine also awarded as the best restaurant. That was the time when my whole picture was in the newspaper, which is called Evening Standard. So there was
you are talking about Time Out magazine.
Time Out magazine as well as Evening Standard paper. Okay. So for a success of a restaurant, it is chef who gets the credit first.
Obviously, he is the main person, he is the center.
then I wanted to grow further. So there I went in and joined Zyka restaurant, which is headed by chef. He was a partner then, Chef Vinit Bhatia. So we were planning to expand because it was part of a company called Cuisine Collections. So they had 7 different cuisines by then.
Yes.
And in fact, you'll be surprised to know that Gordon Ramsay was working in the same chain.
Yeah, great.
He was heading one of the restaurants called Aubergine in the French fine dining. So he was heading that. Vinit Bhatia was heading in one, and I was about to open up one more fine dine Indian. So when I joined in 2000, we were like revamping the whole the Indian concept.
So there you were surrounded by all stars
the
of
big
the
ones,
industry,
because these restaurants it was on Fulham Road. It's a prime location, Chelsea, and that's where all the celebrities lived. David Beckham and a whole lot used to come to our dining place. And 2001 changed the whole concept, because first time after 108 years, Indian restaurant was given a Michelin star.
Wow, great.
So we were working.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. And Michelin, to give you a little concept of this is like awarding like an Oscar for films. So this is like ultimate, in India we have a lot of awards, like winning a national award or a Filmfare Awards. It's almost on that par. For a hotel industry, especially the food industry, Michelin is the ultimate goal for any chef, because the first concept what they look at is to select a restaurant for a Michelin is the food. The food and the way it's been treated. So Michelin awarded the 1 star to 2 restaurants. One is Tamarind, which is run by Atul Kochar. Other one was a Zyka, which is run by Vinit Bhatia. So he was a partner for that group. So I was the head chef of that Zyka at that time. So we won the Michelin. So it was a big, proud moment for us.
Obviously, yes.
So it really changed the whole idea about how
Even hearing to this, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm feeling proud of it.
Yes, exactly. Because, imagine for that long, it's the oldest cuisines in the world, which is Indian food, has never been recognized so well abroad.
Right.
We know it, that we are very good at it, but the world has to know. And unfortunately, our representation was people who migrated from the partitioned India. They are either people who are Pakistanis or Bangladeshis who were selling India food as a curry house points, and which is like the first time when I saw a recipe being shown on a BBC channel, the guy was putting one curry, putting coconut milk, said okay, now korma is ready, and then putting little extra chili, and says now the same gravy, he puts chili and says it's vindaloo, things like that. They'll have a standard menus. And we changed the whole dynamics, and that's the reason Michelin has recognized Indian food as the first time.
You have introduced more authentic food.
Yes, authentic, because every dish has to be made as per the recipes what was back home in India. So 2001 is where it changed my whole life in terms of how achievements can be seen. Because previous to it, there were like awards like for best restaurant and all that, but this is something which is like a feather in my cap to get a Michelin for the restaurant, even though I was working in. But then there was a drive which क्या कहते हैं कि एक
Chef, I would like to congratulate you for receiving so many wonderful awards, and hats off to you. I would like to know more about this Michelin Star Award and how one can aspire for it.
To give you the perspective what this Michelin is all about, it's actually owned by a company which sells tires. ये Michelin tires है. So in the early 1900s, तो ये क्या हुआ कि France में, so they wanted to first find out where normally tires कौन use करता है, people who travel, right? So they wanted to give them a little more experience. They said that what if we can put some restaurants, full eateries or motels or something where people can at least get an idea what do you find it on the road when they go there on the journey, where else they can go in and dine. So that's where they came up with a book in which they've started mentioning the names of these hotels, restaurants. So in that they said that okay, let's give them little ranking, let's award them so that we can know who's best, who's okay, and the rest of it we can eliminate so that people can choose. So that's where the Michelin started creating a book called Michelin Guide, where they were rating them by giving them stars.
Wonderful thought.
So first star is given to the food and the way the ambience is, and said there'll be 2-star, there'll be 3-star. So the ultimate is obviously the 3-star. So somebody who wins 3-star means he's the best in all terms, because it also covers the bar, it also covers the ambience, it also covers all the way the fine dine concepts and how food is served. So is Michelin star is something which every chef aspires to, especially around the world. Unfortunately, we don't have a Michelin star in India, which we all have to try to bring them in. But then, yes, globally, Michelin star is the ultimate, achievement for a chef to go with.
So whenever someone achieves Michelin star, so it's a proud moment for all Indians.
Yes.
But good thing, like I heard that recently in Dubai, Indian cuisine again won a Michelin star.
3 stars.
And it's 3-star.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. That's really great. And now Indian government has awarded even Padam Shri to the chef Damu, and it's a good trend now. I think more of the chefs are getting recognized. So good trend has started. And I hope that many more chefs trained by you and other chefs should get.
Sure. Just to tell you that, I had the privilege of working with Chef Imtiaz Qureshi, who won the first Padma Shri.
Yes,
for being a chef at the age of 82. He got the Padma Shri, and then after that I worked with Chef Sanjeev Kapoor as well, and that's where he also won the Padma Shri in that area itself. And now Chef
Imtiaz Qureshi,
who's really innovated, created a cuisine for Dampuk cuisine, and he's been recognized. So being a chef, these are the
proud moments,
legends whom we should aspire to work with
and
get motivated. Yes.
Great. Yeah. Chef, if you had to rank your achievements, which would be the first and why?
Obviously, the topmost will be the Michelin, getting into that Michelin. But this is something which is like, a dream come true for a chef to win a Michelin. And then, aspiring to get into a food business is something which every chef wants to be, entrepreneur in terms of. So I had an opportunity to open my own restaurant in London. So this is again a big achievement for me.
And what is second?
The second, I can say that, getting onto television.
Oh.
This is something really started when I was in India, in Delhi. So I was assisting Chef Manjit Singh Gill in the Doordarshan days. Those days we didn't have these channels of Sony and Z and all that were not there. So I was helping him out in a program called Zaiqe Ka Safar, it was produced and directed by another legend called Czar of Indian cuisine called Jix Kalra. Mr. Jix Kalra is the one who was running a show called Zaiqe Ka Safar. So Chef Manjit Singh Gill was a
very
popular show. So first opportunity I had was when just then in Sony Television came over, and they took this Doordarshan show called Zaiqe Ka Safar onto them, and we had the whole country chefs were part of it. 52 chefs were part of it. So I had opportunity to be on that. Great. I did 4 recipes on that show, and my first experience was such a drama. I must tell you that as those days technology was very old, so we had a huge mic which was fitted through the chef coat with a big wire going into the recording box. So as soon as the hostess introduced me, I had to walk into the frame, and the moment I was walking, the wire came in between. I tripped and fell down. So that was my first shot. It was so, but then beautiful experience I had. And one more major, I can say, a good experience what I had is working with Madhuri Dixit and Sanjeev Kapoor.
Oh, when was
on a channel called Food Channel. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor runs that channel, and Madhuri Dixit and Chef both were the hosts for that show. So I was planning to send my students in for that. I was training them. And when I went in and saw that, Madhuri, my all-time favorite idol, was there on the show, I joined in, and I was part of that competition.
मौके पे चौका मारा
बिल्कुल घुस गया, and then I really had a blast at the time. So that was very big, say a memory for me. I won't say achievement, but then yes, it is
no less than achievement.
No less than achievement. Meeting the legends of or your the people whom you aspire to be. Meet.
Chef, now another very, very important question. How did you strike a balance between your professional and family life?
For a chef, obviously profession comes first because that's your first wife. More than that, once you passionately involved in it, kabhi compromises karna padta hai. So I can relate to an incident when I got posted to coffee shop Moria. At the same time, my wedding was arranged. So I went to my executive chef to give him the wedding card. So the moment I gave him the card, he looked at the dates and he said, it's okay. He put it aside. He said, you report back to the work. So he was not giving me the leave what is needed, because in South India, we have this wedding goes on for so many days.
So many rituals,
so he was saying that no, 3 days later you come and start working. So I had to use some recommendation to get that. So after that, completing my wedding, and then everything, all the process, and when I finally reached back, reported to the work, he kept it as a grudge, and then he made sure that I don't get a leave for 3 months. So every day I had work in. The day on paper there was an off, but then more than off, they used to allocate a banquet or some work for me. So it is something which we need to. And then thanks to my wife, Rohini, she happens to be very understanding. So initially, even though it was tough thing to balance it, but she very accommodatingly allowed me to, make my career. And she's been my support through and through. That's helped, that's where great. We can,
Especially in this industry, always family life is
very important.
Comes always after our professional life. And if we get support from family, we can do well. And I think in your case, it was that way.
So
that's great.
She happens to be a very good trainer herself, but made sure that, my priorities are always been put in front. So it is something balance what we need to learn, because there is no other way to go forward unless you balance it well. So
because our industry is very demanding, a lot of time and dedication.
Because as I said, that passion has to be there.
True.
So family can be a little sidetracked at that time. But yes, I do take a lot of breaks now. I do take a lot of time to spend at home. So that way, Sundays are luxury.
I'm coming there. Like my next question is Chef, I have learned that later you have become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
What fueled that fire of entrepreneurship?
Agni, the fuel.
Wow.
Because that was my first restaurant which I opened in London. 2004 is where I said, okay, अभी तो काफ़ी काम किया किसी और के लिए, so अभी अपने लिए कुछ करते हैं. So I had a partner who wanted to, join me in opening up. So we both joined in and started again a fine dine with pan-Indian menu. That means from all states. So we created a small niche Agni restaurant in London, a place called Hammersmith. So that was a very big journey for us to come in. And as I said, my wife has been the support. So she used to work with Imperial College at that time. Usko bichari ko I have roped in. So after her work, she used to come and work there as a desert chef.
Wonderful.
So I had a small team to work with. And in 2005, I won my Michelin Baby Gourmand. That's
Wonderful.
where
Once again
change the look of it, because this is again a second run for the Michelin. After winning and getting Baby Gourmand is a big achievement for me as well. For starting it in 1 year's time, we've got that.
Wonderful.
So, and then we've been raved for our biryani as usual. But my highlight of the restaurant was my desserts, because मैंने सोचा no giving them the run of the mill restaurant desserts. So my menu itself has all innovative Indian desserts, like instead of gajar ka halwa, I used to have beetroot halwa. Pan kulfi was on my menu. Beetroot ka ho gaya halwa. Then rose petal and black pepper ice cream. Tamarind sorbets. And the highlight is the red chili ice cream.
So fusion.
So fusion tha kafi sara. Garlic was like something which British hate. They don't like garlic. French बहुत खाता है, British don't eat. I ended up making a kheer out of that and served them the garlic ka kheer or curry patta ka sorbet. So I experimented. काफी सारा experiment. So like one of my customer used to buy 10 kilos of rose petal and black pepper ice cream. Anytime he comes, he fills up his freezer with the ice cream in. Even today he remembers that, Arey, you left London.
So I think doing these all different things makes you different from others.
Yes. That is something which you need to have a niche, because everybody can sell Indian food, but then you need to be a little different to what others are selling. That's what won us the.
So what was next in your entrepreneurial journey?
At the time, while I was working there in London, a couple of my friends who were my batchmates, we were like 31, 32 years old at the time. They have set up a institute here, hotel management institute, called Indian Institute of Hotel Management Culinary Arts.
In Hyderabad.
It's in Habsiguda, Hyderabad. And my very close friend, he's my childhood friend. We studied together in intermediate, then did hotel management together. So Hemant, he started this institute, and then one fine day he called me and said, "Would you like to join the team?" I said, "Yes, why not?" So I invested in that, and then I was more like a sleeping partner at that time. They were running the show. So after 10 years of the college established, I happened to wind up the UK, and then I came down. And then I joined the institute as a principal for that. So currently I'm still with them, working as a principal and taking care of the education.
So now these budding chefs are lucky to get you there and learning wonderful things.
I started with teaching them the whatever I learned, because that is how you need to impart knowledge, because the young
actually I want to know what actually you do different, that these budding chefs can be like industry ready.
Yes.
So how you just handle them, or what is your approach towards them?
I have these basic principles which I always follow. One of them is, as a chef's point of view, I say that cooking is an accident, which has to be. So nobody has given us any recipes. कहीं पे कोई fixed notion से ये नहीं रहना कि ये ही follow करना है. You got to be innovative. You can experiment as long as your roots are right.
Because basics should be clear.
Once you learn the basics well, then you build it up on that. जैसे foundation, कोई भी घर का foundation should be strong. I always tell them that get your foundation perfect. Then you build it. You take it to the notch where you want to be. You can experiment out and all that. Recently I was like talking to one of my student who is an achiever. We have in the ITC hotels, we had a very big a poster which was recently put up, where all the people who passed out in the WMI, all their names are there. So my biggest achievement is my name is somewhere in the middle, and one of my students' name is also in that. Like two of them joined the management training program and then become chefs now. So they both are there in the same list where my name is.
Wall of Fame.
So exactly. So this is something which I feel that I've done feel proud, because when I train 100 students, even if around 30-40 achieve and travel the world and then come back and say that, "Chef, I'm this because of you," that's my biggest gift, because that is something which I aspire now, because we have seen the world. I've traveled 7 countries. I worked in all the top-notch hotels and restaurants, and now I need to give back to the next generation. That is the motivation for me to work for the hotel IHMCA, the institute, and that's where our philosophy is such, because that's what others have aspired it to be.
That's wonderful, Chef. And Chef, tell me that I think you have seen many generations of these young chefs, right? So what you expect from them, and what kind of message you want to give them, they can aspire to be there where you are today?
See, the thing is, our era is very different. We never had mobiles, we never had internet. We were relying on the knowledge shared by the faculties and inspired. You need to get that inspired by the people around you. So that is something which there is slight lack in the younger generation. They don't have that kind of focus.
Okay.
They rely a lot on their mobiles, and then there are a lot of diversions. So they want quick money. They want to travel the world and become executives overnight, which is not. So hard work, patience will eventually get you there, because I tell them that, I party much more harder than them. There are occasions where I'm up till 3 o'clock. It, like, how
Yes,
we
that's
guys
true,
enjoy
true.
now. Once
Yes.
you are there, once money comes, money will come on its own. You don't have to run after money. So because youngsters have to learn that, they cannot overnight become rich or overnight become executives unless you put hard work.
I think what I get from you, like when you are at your range, you should be there 100%.
100%.
And when you are partying, you should be there 100%.
Do it properly.
Yeah,
because
because 100% focus should be
Because
there.
I remember in college days, I wanted to be a chef. I never used to drink, never used to, smoke, no late parties. We had all the fun, but then not to the extent where I aim to first have my drink only if I earn my money.
You already mentioned that you come from that
Exactly. Disciplined life, and
life,
because
yes.
that helped, one way it will tell you how to achieve your goals.
In long run, it pays. Yes.
Because एक focus की ज़रूरत है. I mean, I'll tell you one instant where I had this self-control का भूत, because I said, let me try whether I be strong enough to hold back from the temptation. So 1 साल मैंने tea coffee छोड़ दिया. मैं बोला this time I won't, because I was a coffee shop chef. And I used to drink 15 cups of tea and coffee.
Oh.
So I decided no coffee for me. Because whoever comes to my kitchen, they used to fill my cup. Because they used to make coffee in my kitchen. So they used to fill my cup, and I ended up drinking it. I said no tea, coffee. Until now, I don't drink tea, coffee. I kept it going. It's more than...
strong willpower.
Yes.
That's very
So
good.
like that, being a chef, 1 year I said no non-veg.
Okay.
So I totally was determined. I used to taste the gravy, but not eat. So that willpower has to be there. You need to have that self-control. So to aspire to be a great, you need to have that discipline.
And chef, how you take this, technological advancement in food industry?
Right.
I mean here, like intervention of AI and all
yes.
that.
I mean, AI is everywhere. Now we cannot say that, it doesn't matter, because for a chef,
Yes.
AI will be like a tool for him to take it forward. Okay. There is so much, because as I told you, we are from that era where there's internet was not there. We used to write our recipes by looking at all the books around, but now it's on the fingertip.
Yes.
But take advantage of it into betterment, because there is a lot of positive in turning into AI. Because I've seen innovations like, there is now a new equipment which has come in where there is a microwave and an induction incorporated into one. Yeah. So all you need is like, you can bake a cake in 7-8 minutes, or maybe, less than that time. So there are some technology which is developed. AI is revamping, the chat GPTs and the whole lot, which is over the fingertip, you can get the solutions. You don't need to do a lot of homework for that. But you need to still have some knowledge, because for a chef, it is still end of the day is your
Human
skill.
touch.
Your skill, what is there as a human, what you carry should be replicated. You need to produce it. Because एक चीज़ मैंने सीखा है शेफ इम्तियाज़ कुरैशी से, that no two chefs can be identical. However you try, he challenged us once, as a management trainees, we all were standing there. He said, okay, I'll give you the same recipe, I'll do the same thing, what your thing. You stand in front of me, you do that, I'll cook it.
Yes.
So he did it, and we also cooked it. We followed the guide, but it is Zameen Asman. It is the human touch.
Yes.
Because what Chef Marco Peerwhite's and then stalwarts, the chefs who are around the world has said, is the hard work makes a man perfect.
Yes.
And a chef needs to be dedicated enough to achieve that. So AI, take advantage of it.
Yes.
It is there in you. You can't take it out. In the industry, it is very much part. But keep the hard work, and you will be successful in that.
You mean to say like one chef can use AI and technology to bring his imagination into real picture,
Exactly.
correct it there, then give his human touch, his skills, and then present it to people, right?
Yes. That is something which is very important, because
Yes.
reproducing a dish has to be a person end of the day. But with the help of AI, you can visualize this much before. You can make
can
it
make
even
the
more, presentation even more beautiful. Yes.
Great.
Thank you, Dinesh Jajaria, Hospitality Navigator, and Socialpost Digital Media for inviting me for this podcast and giving me this opportunity to share my life and experience with you. Thank you all.
So thank you, Chef, for enlightening us today. I would like to conclude this way that if one want to be a chef like you and reach there where you have reached, you have earned so many accolades, one has to be very disciplined, very committed to whatever you are doing, coupled with a good mentorship. And one important thing is all the skills, necessary skills, starting with the knife skill to the plate presentation, you have to take it very seriously and repeat it, learn it to the perfection. And definitely, if you are lucky enough, if you get mentors like Chef got, your life will be wonderful and you will definitely be an achiever one day. So thank you for watching this episode. Thanks.